Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Taiko World Cup 2026. This is the B stream. We have a lower bracket, or no, we have an upper bracket. Excuse me, I was on the wrong stream. Upper bracket match for you here. It's going to be China, seed 7 versus Indonesia, seed 24. Champions of group, I believe it was C. They beat seed 9 Malaysia, actually the highest seeded team in the entire group stage, to advance into the winners bracket. But got a strong opponent here in China. I'm over to Hedge 2015, going to be joined by Ikin5050. Hello there.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time zone you all are in. Nice to see everyone back for another fun game of Osu Taiko. I can't wait.
Yeah, fun but stressful this week. The poll's still on the easy side for quite a lot of teams, especially in the winners bracket. Some teams are just making them look like Muzukashis out there. Lots and lots of very high scores across the entire map pool this week, and this might be no exception.
I expect to see this be a very competitive match, to be honest. Indonesia looked really, really strong in the group stages, where they were nearly SSing every single map.
Yeah, I believe got a couple really, team max scores.
Yeah, so at that point, you start to ask questions of how high is their skill cap and how long can they keep assessing, but I think this is still well within their skill range. Very, very talented players on the team.
Yeah, I think Sarah
with the 2v2 it favors them as well. Like being able to split up their focus a little bit instead of having to have 3 super strong players, I guess.
Yeah, I think Indonesia kind of have the main core of Sarah and Asa, 2 guys that have been seen in rank restricted a good bit the past couple of years, have ranked out of there since, but they've certainly kept their skill. China, on the other hand, a bit more of a power friendship team, but I think the core is still only 3 guys. For most wins, you're probably going to see mostly Super, SSS, KK Negative, and Shotan 91, now known as Sakuraba Emma.
I mean, just because it's the power of friendship doesn't mean the power of friendship isn't very strong.
Oh no, it is about as strong as they get.
Right, I think we have got some insider information that's not on the stream yet, that the rolls have been rolled. And
don't know the numbers, but it seems Indonesia
we don't know the
won.
numbers, but we know that Indonesia won the rolls. So off to a good start.
Yeah, Nomad 3 going to be China's ban. They banned first, and Indonesia going to go Nomad 4. Indonesia not first to pick. We cannot see the pick yet. We'll let you know when we know something. Don't know what's up here. We're just having a little bit of difficulty. Please give us a second.
It's fine. This gives us some great time to talk about all the exciting things you can do with an OS banner. You can support your favorite team.
That's true. I have a China banner. That's all I'm saying.
You have a China banner?
Yeah, one of the teams here, and I get to cast them.
One of the teams that are definitely going to potentially win Taiko World Cup.
That might be a little ambitious with a certain other country, but you know.
No need to be so negative. What? Oh, right.
Alright, wow, Nomad 5 first pick is ballsy. We got Zavlag here. No, I'm not even attempting the full name. So this is really one of those miss and you die picks, because miss and you probably miss 20 notes. Long stream.
Yeah. So yesterday I casted different match was Korea versus France, and there, some people, if you're really, really locked in, you're able to minimize your misses, but there were also players that were getting 20, 15 misses in a row just by no locking once. Very risky pick.
Yeah, so Super, the main carry in for China, I'd say he is their best player, not by a huge margin, but he is their best. And We Love You Minato also in. Yeah, this guy is just, listen, if there are snaps other than 1-4, it can be a bit troublesome. If the map is only 1-4, Minato will just destroy it. This guy is crazy, especially, I mean, he can probably consistently SS this week, ZHR2, stuff like that. FZ and Sarah in for Indonesia, that's, I'd say, just as strong a lineup. This looks like practically a coin flip. Any guy could.
You're saying Super Triple S is the carry, but Sarah is still holding on to the double S.
Oh yeah. Now Sarah's become very, very strong at just about everything recently. Scary, scary player. Really high skill cap as well, especially for his rank of like 300, which is just totally a lie. It's a high rank, but you could certainly be higher. And he's showing it here.
Oh no,
agree.
taiko players and slightly misrepresentative ranks because they're hyper skilling instead of focusing on farming PP. I've never seen this happen before.
Playing the wrong stream patterns to gain PP, you see. In any case, as we come to probably the hardest section of the map to act, there will be some 1-3 coming in here. There will be a long 1-3 in just a second. Sarah's still on that max. FZ actually making the difference here with, in quotes, only 99.7. It's against two 99.9s.
Minato looks to be on 100 and Super Triple S on 2, so
Yeah.
very, very fine margins.
Yeah, anything can change at any moment. Once the streams are back in, which here they are. Everyone holding. Oh, a big lockup from FZ!
Oh, jeez. No, that is... Oh,
Yes, totally
that
missed
is-
the entire rest of the stream, and honestly, that's pretty much me. I think
it's so Jover.
yeah, that is one of the roughest stream breaks I've seen from, you know, a mid-high 99 all the way to mid-96 just from misses alone. Couldn't get back in, and that's big trouble.
Yeah,
Another
you
drops to
saw
second
them,
100.
even with OD 7.2, they just really, really struggled to find their footing back into the stream.
Yeah,
And now, yeah, it's 80,000 points separating the two teams. Sarah did drop the double S.
yeah, actually a few 100s, now behind both of the Chinese players, but yeah, China kind of just putting on a clinic on this one.
both Chinese players intentionally throwing a little 100 in there at the start of the map, just for fun.
Yep, and yeah, they are just matching all the way through. Two 100s FC from both Minato and Super. Exact same score and everything. Sarah with 3, and FZ dropping a 1739 100 miscount score. Yeah,
Very
I mean,
unfortunate, but what
would've
can
needed
you
to
do?
SS. Would have needed to literally SS the map to win. So
Yeah.
yeah, not much you can. Okay, actually, 100 would have won for reasons I'm not gonna get into, but that's still a high bar. Can't blame him for not clearing that, but that's not gonna feel good. And yeah, FM1 coming in from China, very strong from
This
Mud
is
Team.
very in character, I want to say.
Yeah, I
Playing
mean,
against China, especially in the early stages, they're able to put on the hidden hard rocks and really run away with the matches.
yeah, China can just do everything, which means that HDHR is going to be comfier for them than most teams. I'd say FM is still the part of this pool where a stronger team can actually separate itself from a weaker one without much RNG involved.
No, absolutely, I agree.
This will probably be mods though.
I mean, I haven't really seen much in terms of genuine mod differences. I feel like basically all the teams have been trying their best at least to match, you know, the double hidden hard rocks that people put up typically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it typically translates into, you know, slightly lower accuracy and just overall a bit less stable performance. I should say, skill expression for the higher seeded teams is definitely a factor here. Although I will say that yeah, hidden hard rock is difficult, but the map itself is mechanically not that hard that it, you know, it should be outside of anyone's skill gap by any means.
It's basically just reading.
Yeah.
Well,
Complete change up on the Indonesian squad. Apaja and Asa coming in, and Super Triple S swapping out for KK Negative on the Chinese team.
Minato, the only one staying in. This makes sense. His mod skill is quite high as well, and this map is not really anything that isn't technical enough. Totally a good case for him to stay in, and this is not that technical. There's a little bit of 1-6, there's a little bit of 3-4, that's kind of it. Shouldn't be much of a problem for him. And he could read 50 BPM faster than this with HDHR, so this will be fine. Of course, anyone can miss anywhere. You're only human, but we'll have to see how that goes as we get into Free Mod 1.
It's worth pointing out, I think we were talking about this before the match started, we have not seen a sweep yet this entire weekend.
Yep.
I don't think we'll be starting now.
I've been
fully
calling
believe
this
in
an
the Indonesian.
unsweepable poll. Because it's so easy for so many teams to just randomly, well, not easy, but 5 points is generally more than enough time for even a
Yeah.
weaker team to just randomly drop a team score that the other just can't beat, or for the big
Make a
dog
mistake
team to
here
just
or
make
there.
one mistake, the
Yeah.
other team double FCs. Well, there goes your sweep, and Apaja is gonna be the first to find a miss. And already China had a massive
Looking
advantage
noticeably
here from
less
the accuracy.
comfortable. This is. It's very respectable that Indonesia has put up 2 hidden hard rocks, but maybe it seems they've overmodded themselves into a bit of a corner here.
Yeah, but then that corner is made even smaller by what China are doing right now. They're on one combined 100 through a third of the map. Minato's still hanging on to that max score.
I mean,
3
no,
months.
you're right.
Cut it here.
But obviously, if you're kind of banking on the other team making mistakes, being a mod down doesn't really help because they have 60,000 score difference as a sort of buffer between them. That's
Yeah,
I don't know.
There will be a break here where, honestly, all 4 players see this and they most likely think, okay, yeah, this one's over. I mean, there's not really anything that can be done to stop China here besides a disconnect.
Yeah, this looks kind of over unless Minato explodes accidentally. I mean, China is looking very, very comfortable on this.
Yeah, so
Very
strong right
impressive
now.
scores.
3 combined 100s.
I'll say
This
Ace
is-
is not looking bad at all. They're still holding the full combo, nearly 99%. It's just there's levels to this.
Yeah, China, so good on these early rounds. I think they're an early round god squad that people just don't realize because they just FC maps. I mean, last year I think China UK round to 16, maybe tooting my own horn because I was obviously in that match, but it was kind of a classic. You had so many 6-way FCs on a round to 16 poll that I'd argue was a bit harder than this one. In 3v3, you saw so few misses that match. China just kayak FC everything every time, it feels like, when you're playing against them. And it's going to be another pair of Hayek
Pretty
FCs.
convincing win there, yeah.
3 100s combined. You know, that probably beats the combined PBs of most upper bracket teams. That's so crazy.
That is a very excellent score.
KK Negative just joins 2 100s, a free mod with HDHR and dips. Nice FC as well from Asa, but there was nothing at all Indonesia could do about that. There's a reason why China picked free mod 1 first, it appears.
Yeah, it's fine. It's China's pick. It's okay. All I have to do is focus in and take a breakpoint on one of the maps they are slightly less comfortable on.
I'm sure China will be
hope
picking
you-
maps they're comfortable on, but
Well, you might argue that they're comfortable on many maps. Yes, probably,
yeah.
but you know what? We need to keep the hopium and the impartial commentary going.
are you saying we should be biased? I'm not for that.
I will only be biased against the UK.
Wait a second. Anyway, so Indonesia to pick next, and I feel like they do still have options. They do still have plenty of strengths as a team. I think Hard Rock might be a good avenue here. China tend to be relatively a little inconsistent on the Hard Rock, but it's going to be Nomad 1, King World. Okay, I believe Indonesia got 2 mil on last week's Nomad 1, and honestly, this one is just kind of harder version.
Nomad 1 is always an option, right? If you're matched against a team that you believe genuinely kind of gaps you,
Yeah.
you just roll Nomad 1 and hope you SS whilst they have a little slip here or there.
Yeah, this map is just whatever team misses, loses. Pretty much.
I feel like there have been rather few misses on Nomad 1, to be honest. But Over the Hedge wife theme song, allegedly.
I don't know why people say that. I like Fubuki a lot, okay? It's true. But, like, I wouldn't
lot.
go that far.
A lot, as in like a wife lot, or
No, basically.
Super Triple S starting some rumors out here for chat.
Wait, I didn't even realize he said that. I wasn't even looking at the match chat. Oh my goodness.
You think I'm just pulling things out my bum? Oh man. There's multiple sources here.
Well, I'm the primary source, and I would say it's a little bit embellished. Anyway. Super Minato versus Sarah Asa. This was the team that whipped out a max score on last week's Nomad 3, and this map is fast for Nomad 1. 240, it's only a little slower than last week's Nomad 3, actually. So, just the mechanics
pretty
squad
high
for Indo
BPM,
here.
actually. 240 no mod 1.
Alright, intro can catch people. Oh, 100
Super
per
triple S
team.
dropping a lot of 100s there, and Sarah as well.
2 each per team at the start. Bottom row still on that max score.
Just goes to show slow scroll speed is stinky and should be abolished.
Only when the map is fast. Low SV and high BPM. I mean, both suck, but don't combine them. That just makes things worse.
Alright, now between you and me, who is anyone gonna drop the double S, Minato or Asa, or are they both just gonna double S the map from here on out?
I'm more focused on the fact you went and nearly said triple S because of the super.
Yes.
I don't know. I think Minato is quite a likely SS on this, but you could probably say the same for Asa.
Yeah,
At
well,
the same time,
I was gonna
some of the
say
weird
Sarah
stuff-
is definitely assessing this, but then, you know, a slight trip
Oh,
up on the intro,
just,
but
the intro just gets people. If you get through the intro, then suddenly life is so much easier.
well, I mean, perfectly balanced scores though.
Yep,
This is
on
a pretty
high.
decent look if you're Indonesia. Like you are.
Here's the first SS killer.
Ooh.
100 from Sarah. A couple actually. Everyone else getting through it perfectly.
If you miss a finisher, that could be a deciding factor too. But just hate your finishers, am I right?
Right? There are a couple kind of tricky ones in this, but they're more just tricky to act, like 3-4 snap, rather than actually being hard to, you know, get both sides of the hit on. 1,000 score lead for China right now.
I mean, it's 1 times 100, right?
I think it's 2. Yeah, it's 2.
Ooh.
Which is still a very thin margin. This could change at any moment.
Yeah, but that's sort of why you pick no mod 1. You want to force people to SS basically, or lose.
Yeah. Oh, it's super with a 100. The difference is cut down to 1. And we're going to see a long chain of 3-4 finishes in a moment. What's going to happen here? This can kill so much act. And they all SS it. Okay, man. Honestly, whatever.
670 points difference.
My Seed 24 team just destroying round of 16 no mod 1. Still losing by a tiny margin right now, but anything can change anywhere. 1/100 is such a human thing to hit. Long stream? No problem.
Unless you're metronome like Minato and Asa are doing apparently now.
Yep. The single tap squad just destroying this map on the bottom half of your screen. Oh! And another couple 100s from Super gives Indonesia the thinnest of leads. It's plus 1/100 for them coming into this last KI. There is another act killer at the ending. Wait, did Indo really have the lead? I cannot tell anymore.
I don't
No.
think they do. No,
Oh my gosh. No, I
Oh,
think China have skipped one finisher. Otherwise, the league wouldn't be doing that.
Oh no.
Alright, we're 3-4. Or is it 2-3? Who knows? Just hit it correctly. Okay,
That's
Indonesia
the one.
definitely the lead with a 100 from Super. Oh my god, I think
We're
Indonesia
so
are
back,
about to
we're
win
so
by a
back,
finisher!
we're so back. Oh, here we go.
The last one's come in!
Yeah.
And Indo win by
655.
655! Unsweepable! Tied accuracy,
Fantastic.
double SS. Wow.
I was like, no. Super's hack is still intact. You're right. Just
Yeah,
the finisher
it's-
catching him out.
And the finisher was on Super's side. You can see Minato with that maximum 1 million score. He cannot possibly have skipped a finisher. And Minato is saying, that's my first TWC SS. Honestly, overdue. This guy, prolific SS
Surprised he
player.
hasn't
I'm
done it
surprised it
before.
took him so long. Yeah, I mean, China just pick an early HR2 and then bang, he's got one. Like, just like that. You don't even have to play the map at that point with this guy's skill level. But
Right, we've
Indonesia
secured
can get on
the
the
no
board.
sweep policy for this match.
Yeah, super clutch SS from Mesa, by the way. Can we just, like, you win by
Yeah.
655 by getting max score? Best feeling in the game. But nothing comes close. That must feel good for him.
Also, just to briefly confirm, the match going on in the other stream is also not a sweep, because Switzerland versus Portugal is 1-1 right now.
Yep. Switzerland actually winning No Mod 1 despite a Baby Snakes SS on the Portuguese side. And Portugal have won their No Mod 4. You can go check that out over at the Osu Live without an _2 stream. Or we could just call it the A
No,
channel.
no, actually, no. Instead of checking that out, you should stay right here.
You got a
For Team
point.
China versus Indonesia. On.
Or both. You could just split screen it.
This is Fremont 2, right?
Yes, this would be the anti-mod. This is
Yeah,
Tenchu
sorry, I
Kai
misremembered, because I remember the old title of it, and then remember it had to be changed.
Yeah, so very important detail in this map. Teams have had 2 less days to practice this than the rest of the pool, because of reasons that are not worth like going to the lengths to explain in this stream. This map was changed in place of another on Tuesday. Now this had to be done, it's actually totally fair, but it does mean teams have had less time to practice. For some that might make the difference. Some people need those full, 5-6 days to get ready to consistently FC a map.
We're seeing
like
Indonesia squad trolling and changing out a little bit again. Apaya and Ray coming in for them. KK negative coming back.
Yeah,
do we expect to see full hidden hard rock? Honestly, I think we do, right?
I could see Indonesia only 3-modding this, but that's still not a guarantee. Double HDHR still wouldn't surprise me. Ray is very good, but I'm not so sure about the 2-mod reading on him. I more know him as a mechanics player. I think this might be a bit of a give up at bat for Indonesia, especially after they saw how China did on Free Mod 1 and how much Apaja was struggling. It's like, okay, they've picked this, let's give our next picks players a rest. And yeah, okay, actually the hidden...
Apaja going for the single hidden, but Ray going for hidden hard rock.
So Indonesia on 3 mods, but the HDHR isn't where I expected it to be. Apaja probably a lot more comfortable on hidden only, so this should be an easier, solid score for him to produce. Minato and KK in for another 3 mod. And honestly, this one might be over before it begins, just as soon as we see the mods, with the capacity China have.
I mean, yes, they have a pretty big margin to deal with, but it also means, China going into this knows that they have the extra mods, right?
Yeah.
So that might give them a bit of a sense of security with the idea of, oh well, we can afford a miss here or there, maybe.
That might just reduce your nerves and make you less likely to miss, though. It's hard to say what it does to these people,
Well, what it's doing now is giving them a pretty convincing score lead, especially with Ray struggling a little bit with the Yak and obviously the Apaja. 1 mod as opposed to the double hidden HR from Indonesia.
Yeah, Minato through the first third of the map with that max going. The 1-6 comes in, no problem for him. KK still only on a couple 100s. China just looking imperious on this pull.
Ooh, and a Mr. Ray is not going to make things better for Indonesia. That score lead is going to keep building, sadly.
Yeah, Minato drops the SS, but it really doesn't matter.
Yeah,
comes in.
I think you might be onto something. Realistically, going against China on these free mods is a very, very tough challenge for most teams. So, yeah.
I don't think they're a super strong hidden hard rock team in the grand scheme of things, but their hidden ACK is just so stellar, and these maps with the HDHR are pretty readable for people who aren't EHR players, They're like, usually you need to be very good at both. With this one, I think it's just, you need to be good-ish at both, and China have plenty of players who can do that. Minato's still in the 2 100s. Perfect through the long 1-3 and everything. He might be about to tie up Oko here with a 2 100 FC. The 1-6 perfectly, and I mean, this point is a foregone conclusion if you just look at the lead.
Yeah, it's 150,000 points almost. It is kind of over.
At this point, it's just how good of a score can Minato produce, still on 2 100s into the last section. There will be a little more 1-3, a couple 3-4 rhythms, but nothing catching this guy.
Somebody do something, please!
It looks like the one doing something here is Minato. Does hit a third 100, Apaja misses on the last long 1-3, but Minato just taking a victory lap here. Last 3-4 doesn't get him. Looks like nothing will. And that is gonna be okay.
It's 100
4 100 FC. Almost. Okay, actually 5. Well, I'm sure he'll see his -5 away from max score and be like, okay, I'm happy with that. I'm sure he's satisfied enough. Ray, very close to that 1 mil.
PB from Minato, allegedly. That's pretty impressive.
Not surprised. I mean, not many people, I would imagine, actually have -5 or better on this in practice. It is quite hard to hack, especially with all that 1-3, and they're just making it look a little easier than it is here. Unbeatable team score from China. Indonesia could have literally double SS'd and they would have lost by about 30k. So nothing to be, uh, no
If buts
regrets
and
to really
maybes,
bother with.
it's all about the next pick, where Indonesia can get their momentum back, secure their own pick, and at some point they have to try and take a break point. But their first concern should be just getting through this next pick, taking their own map, bringing it back to 3-2. Just pick double time 2 to do this.
Yeah, holding is going to be difficult on its own against China, but they're going to try the mechanics again. It did work on King World, which I would say does definitely count as a mechanics map. The only thing here is Minato on DT2 is a force. This guy has the fast single tapper accuracy, the fast single tappers, the Minia player stamina, the EHR player accuracy. I mean, he might SS this, for God's sake. Yeah, he's so good at this kind of thing. And
I'll be honest,
well, he can just do everything.
Considering how strong Indonesia looked on Nomad 3, last week, I thought they might consider picking that, but
yeah, maybe. But maybe that's for the next pick after they win this one, you know? Maybe that's the plan.
True.
But I think
if you plan to fail, or if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, and clearly there is a plan.
Yeah, no such thing as feeling upwards in TWC. If you make a mistake, you will be punished, especially on a pool like this where so many teams are just destroying it. China looking as strong as any we have seen this week, up there with the likes of Chile, above the likes of Japan. Yes, I did just say that. Who didn't have the strongest of matches this weekend. No, I'm not saying China are better than Japan, but they are playing better than Japan played this week, which is really something at the worst of times. Even in these early rounds.
That's a compliment. That is a very strong compliment.
Oh yeah. However, Indonesia with the early lead right now. But Super struggling for Ack a little bit, maybe having a little trouble with all the offbeats.
I mean, realistically, this map can also just be won on the finishers, or on the sliders, even.
Sliders, yeah, there are so many. However, I think even though the BPM is kind of high, you won't see too many mistakes.
I mean, on score version 2, it's easier to hit, sliders perfectly, but it is a bit of a stamina drain if there's lots of them. This is by no means a short map, so.
Yeah, the lead has shrunk from about 7k to nothing. Virtually tied here. I think China might actually be at a slight advantage, and yeah, Minato is proving to be the carry here for China.
I mean, Super is stabilizing. They're 99.2, sort of settling down. Asa's 99% flat, is struggling a little bit with it, but Sarah is looking very strong as well. 99.5+% accuracy.
Yeah, China just winning on both halves of the screen right now. It feels like we've consistently seen like the top matchup and the bottom matchup just on the screen. Sometimes the bottom players are both the stronger on the team, sometimes it's the top, but it's felt pretty consistent.
Do you think it's
potential? Maybe. Alright, intimidating cats. No problem for anybody.
Okay, nobody gets tripped up.
Yep.
The map is not over until it's over. There is a 10,000 point lead now for China. Really all due to that act of, especially Super, really getting his accuracy back up. Basically SSing the entire second half of the map.
Yeah, got off to a pretty weak start, but recovered and then some from that. And Minato, honestly, this might be #1 for the week on this map. This is ridiculous. He's at like 4 100s or something, I think.
That is very close to max score, yeah.
Wow. That is wild. 4 100s indeed. That's about 5k score away from the absolute maximum of, I think, 1179. All 99 FCs on this is crazy, by the way. I think this is actually one of the hardest maps in the pool.
You definitely see why Indonesia picked this map. Like, they clearly have 2 solid scores.
Yeah, it's just
confident FCs.
China did that.
Absolute. Yeah.
Strength
There's
of
always a bigger
competition.
fish. Ugh.
Yeah, and Sarah just saying hi, like totally valid question. How do you do that? I mean, 4-100 on that might, I don't know, that's up there with the scores of the week, I would say, across the entire round.
It's fine. I have it on good authority that actually now is where the break point gets taken and we pull it back to 4-4 to go to tiebreaker.
I would be impressed. I would be very impressed, is how I would put it.
Oh, of course, but
Why China are playing? Man.
Listen, Indonesia may just look deep within themselves and find that little bit of extra power they need to take on Team China.
Maybe.
Oh, and we're going to the OS original for the round of 16. Buy now by Old Duct.
You know what you can buy now?
Can I perhaps buy something in the OS store?
Yeah, you can buy a banner to support your favorite TWC team. Like I said earlier, I already got my China banner. Evidently, I might have put my money on the right horse, at least for this week. And yes! My goat, Sakuraba Emma, Shokan91 coming in. This guy's so good. Honestly, he might be about to like SS this. Very strong tech player. On most teams he would be near perma lobby, but China just evidently is so strong.
Yeah, maybe it's a tactic of saying let's have everyone play as much as possible, or maybe Sakuraba just didn't have as much time to practice. Who knows? We will be going to a short timeout because of a toilet break, allegedly.
Sometimes you have to.
Thanks for the detail on that one, guys.
I would say gotta let him know, but I'm really not sure. Wait, what do I have in
I don't think
this match?
I don't think they had to let him know.
Yo, all I'm saying is I have 5-1 China on pick'ems. Don't mess this up, guys. This would be the first match that I get the correct score for because, well, this is literally impossible.
So what I'm hearing is you're terrible at pick'ems.
Have you seen this round? No score is predictable. It's actually just RNG. Oh, like how many maps will the top team like give their 6th player, and they just random miss? It's actually the hardest pick'em I've ever seen. It's like a psychology test. Can you tell which teams are going to take it fully seriously and only lose 1 point to RNG? I don't know. You can't. It's so hard.
If you predicted that the top few seeded teams are going to not drop any points, you'd be dead wrong. Even Japan showing that they are vulnerable, allegedly, maybe.
To be fair, Australia were very, very good in that match. I mean, Australia are like the scariest opponent from the entire group stage. They practically team maxed like every map they played in groups. They only had to play a tiebreaker because they got probably the scariest mid-seed in any taiko tournament group stage of all time. And they give Japan a run for their money in a match where Japan genuinely looked beatable. I'm gonna be straight, China have already just like played better than Japan in this match, and it's not close. Like, it's unreal. I think they and Chile would have actually beaten the best.
I mean, the only thing is that obviously, does it matter? Or does it only matter if you just win your match? You know, you can 5-4 every match, but you'll win Taiko World Cup.
Hey, a win is a win.
Exactly.
Yeah, all that matters is that you get to the first up first, and China very close to managing that.
Please remember to mutual Sarah, I've just asked in chat.
Always mutual farm in your matches. And just for a quick update on our other ongoing match, Switzerland-Portugal is currently at 4-1 for Portugal. They have match point. They have picked Skywire Beat Skip, that's the hard rock one. So that one might be coming to an end soon. Portugal pretty good on that kind of thing.
Bro,
And
you're
similar situation here.
clearly both of these matches are going to tiebreaker.
3 months of supporter if you're right. Like, I'll just give you it.
Wow. I will not be giving you 3 months of supporter if I'm
No, I mean the other way. If you somehow are right, I'm just giving you 3 months of supporter for like knowing the script.
Okay, well, hey, this is a very strong two-man from Indonesia, Sarah and Asa.
Oh yeah.
Going against Sakurabama and Super Triple S.
Yeah.
Will they Triple S the map? Find
that
out
would
now.
be very impressive. My 101% accuracy play. Worth mentioning, Sarah got 2 100s on last week's MMOD 2, which I would even argue is harder than this one to consistently get accuracy on. It was the hardest map in the groups pool by a wide margin. So Sarah at least certainly has the tech chops, and Asa not too bad either. It's China though, tech country. This is going to be a hard one.
Are you saying this because you're not super fond of technical maps?
No, I'm saying it because the map was hard, Iken. What? I'm getting rage baited by my co-caster, help me.
Rage bait used to be believable.
Yeah.
So far, Indonesia's actually getting the better of China in the intro.
Yeah, a couple 100s from Asa, and a miss from Sarah gonna change that though, and honestly, against a team this strong, that might be GG. Wouldn't say anything just yet, but another miss from Sarah is really gonna put Indo in dire straits.
That's a pretty mean stream pattern that happens where you have 2 1-6 quads mixed in with a slow scroll speed. It is a repeating sort of motif in the map, but it is kind of mean and really easy to accidentally misread. Oh, and Asa picks up a miss as well now.
Yeah, at this point, okay, this one is kind of over. And look at that, the Chinese players matching as usual, both on 99.6. Honestly, on the low end for them, I feel like they can both SS to this point pretty reasonably as well, but easy to drop.
What if we match back in the Taiko World Cup lobby?
That's what real friends do. So coming into the second half here, really just the final quarter. Not all that much duration to beat map left.
Feels like a formality at this point, because China has not really shown much of an indication going to slip up enough to reduce this 100,000 point lead.
Alright, here we go with the ending. If anything's gonna somehow swing 100k points, this is it. However, China having no trouble with the first half of the ending, the second half is much of the same.
Dropping a little bit of active.
Maybe buy your China stocks. They win 5-1 over Indonesia. That's going to be GG well played. 12 and 13 100s from Shokan and Super respectively.
Sarah actually with the best 100 count in the lobby. It's just offset by a few misses.
They had better accuracy. It's just the misses. Yeah. And wow, Shokan actually wins the match and says bye now. Unbelievable swagger. Just generating aura.
Someone stop him.
I don't think we can. China just played 6 maps, and I think FC'd 12 out of 12 between both players. That was a crazy performance from them. One of the best of the week, right up there with, I'd say, Chile, and like nobody else can compete with just that level of consistency and accuracy. China move on to the winners quarterfinals, where they will face Chile. So that's going to be very difficult. Chile,
that is different gravy, yeah.
Yeah, they're the 2 seed for a reason, but I think China have proven that they can stand right up there with a team like Chile in terms of consistency, although I feel the quarters pull will be a lot harder. News from our other match, Portugal have secured the win 5-1 over Switzerland, so both of our matches for 13 UTC are over. The next match is at 14, that's going to be Hong Kong versus the Netherlands. I think this is a pretty good candidate for match of the day. This could be real good.
I think that is probably one of the closer matchup you're going to find.
Yeah.
And clearly everyone will be sticking around to cheer on Hong Kong, or if you want to be correct about it, to cheer on the Netherlands, the world's best taiko team. I am unbiased, by the way. I have no horse in this race. Game recognizes game.
Oh yeah. Two teams with pretty opposing skill sets in Hong Kong and Netherlands. Netherlands really, they should not be in the lower bracket right now. If they got any other top seed, and I mean any of the 7 others,
I mean,
in
they
their
got
group
Australia.
instead of Australia, if they got anyone else, they'd have won their group. Literally anybody else. They were SS farming the entire pool in match, not just in practice. But that bad luck of getting Australia has led them to the lower bracket, and Hong Kong's not an easy matchup either after that. We'll have Argentina, Slovakia, Colombia, Vietnam, Italy, Russia, our last remaining upper bracket match, and then closing off the weekend with Poland versus Germany. And then we'll have the map pool showcase for quarterfinals. So still a lot of action today. Join us in 20 minutes for Hong Kong, Netherlands. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank
See you
you
next
so
time.
much for watching. Goodbye.